What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. I am your host, Albert Fig, and this week I am joined by my guy, Uli.
What's up, brother?
Thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Yes. So actually, before I even go on to, do you prefer Uli or Uli?
Whatever's natural to you.
Well, see, I speak Spanish, so it's like my
Uli, right?
Yeah, Uli. Like
Yeah,
I rather
cool.
want to say Uli,
Yeah.
but like, you know, I know a lot of people would say like Uli too.
Uli. Yeah, it's usually the people that don't speak Spanish say Uli.
Yeah, they say Uli.
If Uli's cool.
Right here with Uli, but full name?
Ulises Garcia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, question, man.
For sure.
What don't you do?
What don't I do?
What don't you do?
Oh man, I don't know, man. I was talking to someone earlier today. I'm just like, they were like, oh, I knew you were like applying some shit or whatever. I'm like, I'm just trying out different shit.
Yeah. I like the reason why I said that too, and just to give like the viewers and the listeners a little background info for it, is because you literally dabble in like everything. So videography, production, filmmaking, photography, podcasting, like all that. It's safe to say like anything media related or content creation.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it started off with photography, and from there, my curiosity just kind of
went on into like it's crazy, like how we met up and everything, and how we were able to get like from initially just like an idea talking about doing it together to getting it here is like, you know, it's, you can be a fan, you know, you can appreciate things from afar and kind of see things from afar. It's one of those things where I was just like, I looked at your page, man, and I was looking at the work, and I was like, fuck, like right away I was like, I need to step my game up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that's motivating. I'm like, I need to, upgrade this. I need to change this, or I need to do more with this and do better at that. You know what I'm saying? So I saw that, and it was just kind of like, I got to talk to this guy, man. I got to freaking see what he does. Cause you're all over the place. You know what I mean? You do a bunch of stuff. And, so maybe we could start there. How did you even get to where you're at right now? Like, as far as like with all this production stuff and all this video stuff, how did it get to where you're at right now?
Like how I started?
Yeah.
So I was, I think, a junior in high school, and I got my first camera, because I knew a couple people that would shoot, and they would tell me about the experience. And like, you meet new people, you just go out and just kind of fuck around and get cool pictures for Instagram, right? That's really what it was at the time. And yeah, I mean, I did the same, and just having the camera and being able to ask people, if they wanted to go shoot, get some dope pictures, really allowed me to meet new people, at least within the level of the school that I was going to, right? The high school. So much so that when I was playing soccer for 3 years, that the last year I wasn't playing. I was like, I'm just gonna do photography, and I'm just gonna focus on photography. Yeah. And it came with a little bit of like, what the fuck? Like, you've been playing soccer like your whole life up to this point, and like you're gonna not play and do this thing. Like, it came pretty random. I mean, rightly so, right? Yeah, like all of a sudden you're like, this guy's trying to do some photography. Yeah. So I kind of had to like ignore it, a little bit, and yeah, just kept with it. And just that curiosity, man, it's you learn something new, and you try to piece out this, you try to figure out this, you try to figure out that, and got the ball rolling, and sooner or later that turned into video, and video, after like once I started video, like that just opened a whole new world, in terms of just audio and visual effects and sound effects and just so many aspects. But I think the real game changer, and I've always said this, is that when I came to Sacramento, there was these meetups, shout out Good Inc. and Will, where it was a bunch of photographers and models. They would just link up every Tuesday and just shoot, just for fun.
You just like nothing free, not even freelancing, just getting together and doing it.
Yeah, just getting the community and just meeting up, just shooting. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, that was just game changing, because I mean, I'm not from Sac originally.
Where are you from?
I'm from Placerville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm like 45 minutes out.
Right.
So I didn't know anybody, but once I started coming to these events, you just meet a bunch of new people and start making connections. And I think from there, that just like grew into what it is now.
And that's pretty welcoming, right? Like getting the people together, they kind of embrace each other. And it's like I'm just trying to like put myself in that situation. It's just like, it's kind of like an open arms type of thing. Because, essentially you guys are just, there to do the same thing and learn and grow,
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Yeah. And that's is that how eventually I remember seeing some stuff that you guys posted that you were like at the Joshua Tree at one point.
Yeah. So Joshua Tree was like 2 months ago.
That was recent.
Yeah, that was recent.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that was made like 2 years ago and shit.
That one was recent. We were filming the music video out there.
Yeah, that looked dope. There was a lot of people on that one too.
Yeah, dude, I didn't sleep. I had to drive on the way there.
Yeah,
I was like
out.
Yeah, dude.
No, that's dope, man. Yeah. And it's just crazy too because I saw, but like I've doing like even doing this stuff, and I don't come from a production background. I didn't come from, like we spoke about earlier, before we started recording. I don't really have much of the background and the knowledge for a lot of this stuff. So I legit like learned stuff online. I joined like free seminars. I took watched YouTube videos. I'm sure like everybody else does, you know what I mean? But one thing that stood out like the most for all that, it was that literally video right now was like dominating everything. Like to be, successful and to have just like the notoriety. I mean, even on your podcast, which we'll talk about in a bit, even on your podcast, you had one of the guys, I forget his name, it's like slipping from the top of my head right now, but he's like a videographer, a personal videographer for like some of the Sacramento Kings players.
Yeah, Carlos.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, so I was listening to that little snippet, and he was saying like how he does this and working with this, and it's cool. Like Ricky Rubio still to this day, and freaking is like Darren Fox is like personal YouTube. He runs all that. So like even listening to that, dude, I was just like, man, it's like you can really dominate the field in the industry with incorporating video.
Yeah, it's man, like, and we'll kind of get into this like further into the podcast, but when I started kind of tapping into the community and being able to meet all these people, it was like these opportunities are way closer than they seem.
Oh yeah,
right. They're just a DM away. They're a connection away. They're an introduction away. Yeah. And yeah, I mean that's just inspiring. You just never know, where a relationship's gonna take you, where a DM or a comment is gonna take you. It's just crazy like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like it's literally essentially how we are today, literally just a message
straight up,
just like FaceTime and then boom, like we're here setting this up, so I do like that. Excuse me. It's a certain I have like this weird, the way my brain works through is like I have my curiosity level just kind of fucking goes all over the place, you know what I mean? And it's it's to a fault. Sometimes it's it's a good trait of mine, but it's also a bad trait when you let it kind of like, I mean, I lose sleep over the curiosity, dude. And that's like not so much of bad stuff, but like I get curious, like to be like, I could have done. What if I would have done this edit better, or what if I would have talked, or like, I should have remembered to talk about this.
Yeah,
or why didn't I stay up that extra 30 minutes with this? How can I reach out to this person?
Yeah.
So there was like so much of curiosity that goes on in my head that I was thinking, man, am I the only one that's like, that kind of like thinks or operates like this, And then, like I said, going back to you, it's just like, you do a lot, man, talk to me about like some of the stuff that you do. What is it like fair to say? Is it fair to say it's freelance? Is it fair to say that it's, contract jobs type of thing?
Yeah. So actually today I was doing a lot of freelance work under like my name, right?
Yeah.
As a freelancer, but I like the mind shift of that I had was like, I'm a business,
right?
I don't want to be a freelancer, and businesses want to work with businesses at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
You have that credibility, and I mean, I switched it over, and starting building a business side, because essentially you're doing the same stuff. You're doing sales, you're doing marketing, you're doing the job, you're doing all the extra stuff that behind the scenes that people don't really see,
right?
And it's crazy because you realize that like you're not even shooting most of the time, even though that's the stuff that you want to do. Like you got to do all this other stuff, gear prep, buy gear, like
yeah. the stage. It's a set, and it's like set dress and everything, you know?
Yeah, all that stuff. And you're a business at the end of the day. So I decided like I'm just gonna build a business instead of, you know, try to build my personal brand. And I can still build my personal brand, but focus on building a business.
Yeah. And that's a good mentality to have, man. And it's cool to see that too, you know, from the outside looking in. I've in this journey of like, you know, discovering this and building this, which is still weird to me to say platform, but it is a platform, you know? So I'm still adjusting to saying that, but even like building up this platform, dude, and creating this, I'm starting to appreciate a lot more of the creatives and like the independent artists or workers that are out there. You know what I mean? It puts like a newfound level of respect for that, because a lot of the stuff is, you know, growth is like by word of mouth, you know, the majority of the time. And it kind of, I look back and I was like, damn, like a simple like repost would have helped out so many other people, or a simple shout out for like this and that would have helped out so much, you know? Yeah. So it just puts another like avenue of like being like, there is this out there to help out on these, you know, the people that are just like predicated, like I said, on the word of mouth. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a whole other side, man. I mean, when I first started filming, like I was just like, okay, like I'm just gonna film, and this is all I need to do. I need to learn how to do this effect and that effect. And then it's like, okay, you start freelancing, you start doing this shit for a living. It's like, fuck, I gotta learn how to negotiate and sell and market. I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like I didn't initially sign up for this, but same thing with that curiosity shit again. It just comes in again, and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna fucking read hella books and watch hella YouTube videos, because the information's out there. Yeah, it is out there. And you know, you just learn it, apply it. You know, have a couple awkward like negotiations or like sales calls. Like, fuck, like why the fuck did I say that? Yeah. And I mean, you just learn like that. You just that's the thing about a lot of the stuff, dude. It's just like learning and growing for a lot of time, for the most part. You know, that's dope, man. So you were saying that originally, you know, you're originally from Passaville, not from Sac, you know, but you're here now, and you do work with a lot of people, and you got a lot of close like contacts and stuff like that, you know? Yeah. Yo, because I know how this is for me, but I'm curious for you too. How does time management work for you? Oh man, I have my good days and I have my bad days. I mean, it's something that I'm trying to work on. It just depends on what I'm tackling, right? It's like if I'm like trying to do something that I'm already used to, then I can get it done pretty fast, because you get into that like flow, right? Yeah. But if it's something that is out of my comfort zone and like, fuck, like I got to do this, you know, like sales and stuff like that, it's like, okay, it might take a little bit longer. I might have to like, you know, procrastinate a little bit more and get through that. How about you? It's tough, man. It's tough with, you know, like we spoke about, even just setting this up too. Yeah. It was like, it's tough with time management, but I feel like it's only as tough as you let it consume you, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, you know, really, it shouldn't be that hard to just be like, this day, you know what I mean? In theory, you know, on paper, you would think that, okay, Tuesday at 6, you know, or sometimes you might just shoot a number and overanalyze it and overthink it. But it's just like, no, you just set the date, set the time, and you just commit to that. And, you know, you work accordingly around that schedule. Yeah. So like, I'm getting better with time management, not so much with this, but trying to balance between family time, between work, between this, and I make it like emphasis and a focus to like be present when you're present. Yeah. Meaning like you can physically be there, but be mentally checked out, or be, again, because my curiosity level, you could physically be there, but mentally be thinking about something else and not really engage in a conversation that you should be having, you know, or being right there with family time. You know? So it's more so of that I've kind of still learning to manage. I was never really horrible at it, never really bad, you know what I mean? But you know, you can always do better. So that's where I feel like I'm getting better with the time management. I completely agree. I like, you can get so like just curious and, you know, quote unquote obsessed with what you're trying to do that you sometimes neglect the other things. And you know, you look at it and it's like, you know, relationships and like that shit really matters. And there was a good book that I read the other day. It's called Principles, and one of the main things is that
we work with other people to build relationships for a better community, and to another one is to get money so we can buy the things that we need for ourselves and buy things for others. And I mean, just really be grateful for that and really appreciate the relationships, bro, because it's like, yeah, you can make hella money and shit like that, but you like, if you can build both of those up at the same time and manage your time, then
you're good. Like
you're
that.
good.
Yeah. Now I feel like too, like there's doing the podcasting, obviously it's like a lot of times you're just talking, you know what I mean? But it's learning how to be an active listener at the same time, But it's just like one of the biggest things, at least for me, is like it doesn't just apply to just, like I said, podcasting. It's like in your everyday normal life too. So I feel like that's helped me out too a lot, actually. You know what I mean? Like
straight up, I like
communicate better too,
yeah. It's like I don't watch Gary Vee like a lot, but I there are like some things like that he says that really do stand out. And the other day he was like, "This is all just a huge game of human behavior." And I mean, just going back to communicating, like asking questions, actively listening, like in terms of sales, like that shit helped me out huge. And that was just from starting the podcast. And if I wouldn't have started the podcast, I wouldn't have learned that. And maybe if I didn't learn that, then I might have not like gotten the deal or really close to, so yeah. But it's a whole nother game, bro. I feel you, like it's asking questions, like
it's a whole different thing, man.
I feel you.
What was I gonna say next? Oh yeah. So like you literally have a title of producer, director. What do you enjoy more shooting? Would you say it's more so like video creation in general? Is it more like music videos, or is it more of like shooting like, something like a short doc or like a mini film? Like, do you have a preference for a lot of things?
I think personally, I like doing like a lot of running gun stuff. So like documentary and piecing the story afterwards, or having.
You said running gun?
Yeah.
What is that?
So like you don't have a tripod or anything. Like you just have just have the camera. Like you're just you're just filming. Like it's kind of like vlogging in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one is the one? Because like I said, I'm so new.
The gimbal.
Yeah, the gimbal. Yeah. So there's that one with the hand, and then which one is it? The one that has the two.
That's also a gimbal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm just debating whether or not I should buy one. I saw one, and it's a used one, but I feel like it still works. But it was only like for like $200. So I'm like, maybe
they're fun to play with, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like the shit you like doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So just running with, I don't know, like it just goes back to like when I first got the camera, I just, go shoot some shit. Like I didn't really, like I just shot shots that were cool. But obviously, that's in terms of the business side of things, that's not always what solves the problem.
Right. I'm just trying to I think about that all the time. Like, man, I would like to do something like that because I'll
let you borrow mine, bro.
I'll use it if you get me. Yeah, I'll use it. What about writing though? Do you get anything like
oh man.
Because like I said, you got that director title. Do you write anything like script wise and everything? Or scenes?
So I'll write like scripts, but not in a sense of like story, more just like what you're gonna say to the camera. I don't know, like writing's hard. I haven't really tried it, but it just might not be the thing for me.
Yeah,
because like that's like the whole screen Reddish.
I heard that
thing. Yeah,
I tried.
Have you tried writing?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote I did I did like a little commercial, like a funny. I wanted to do like a funny commercial skit for the podcast, and like I wrote the script for that, but it was it's really just written for myself, and I'm just reciting words and kind of just memorize them and everything. So when I had like an order of how I wanted to do it, like timeline,
Yeah.
I did that, and then I did I wanted to shoot like a real like professional promo thing, which I did with Austin.
Yeah.
Real Media, shout out Real Media. And even for that one, I wrote that myself.
Yeah.
But you're talking about like a minute and a half of just essentially a little promo shoot. So it's not really anything major, but I did write it. So it's like I dabbled in it. I enjoyed it. I would, if given the opportunity, I'm working on doing like a little third commercial skit, which I'm writing for that one too. But yeah, for sure, I would love to fucking incorporate actual scenes with other people and kind of, you know, dabble in it.
Yeah.
Just to see if it's even like a thing where it's like, what are you doing? Or is it a thing that's like, all right, maybe this can lead to another avenue, you know?
Like I could plan scenes, and I have planned scenes, but like line per line of like what someone's saying, it's like for like 30 minutes or like an hour, like a feature length film. Like, okay, I don't know.
I would need like a lot of freaking time to do that. You know what I mean?
I would need a lot of inspiration, like in terms of like.
What if you watch like a movie, like a Quentin, like a Tarantino movie, right beforehand? You know what I mean?
Man, like, shit, man. Yeah, man. Like, I would need some shit like that. Just watch like a bunch of just back to back, like just, you know.
Dude, I'll do that even for podcasting. Like, I'll listen because I listen to a shit ton of fucking podcasts. So like, I'll even watch one or listen to one before I'll start recording, and then I'll just be like, oh, that was a good take, or I'll like backpack off that, you know?
Yeah.
Or I'll see one like a video podcast, and I'll see like their setup, and I'll be like, I should do it like that, and I'll change like little things because like there's like, dude, like nothing's really 100% consistent with a lot of the frames that I do with these. Like maybe I might change this light out or get this light angle or change these.
I feel you.
So like it's still like, you know, I haven't really fully set on exactly what's gonna be the final one. Yeah. Even though this is pretty much.
I mean, it's always a work in progress, bro. You know, like. One day you like this, and the other day like, fuck, maybe I should do that.
Maybe I should do that one. No, that's dope, man. And you know, maybe you it might work out good for you to do with the writing, like I said, having that director title. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I haven't tried it, and my curiosity hasn't really taken me to that point. But you never know.
Yeah. No, for sure. And you do one thing I see a lot of the time, not to say that I'm stalking you so much, so don't press charges on me.
You're researching.
I'm researching, right?
Yeah.
I get it. But even before we even decided to do this, dude, I was like just looking at some of I was like, what up? He's working over here. He's doing this. And it was like, I saw you you were posting about being at the Capitol, dude. Doing some like setup there. And then you were like at someone's like place of business, or I forget what it was, but you were doing something there. And then even downtown too, right? Like in the like K Street area or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, you just never know where a project's going to take you. Yeah. You're just like, this is the address. You're like, oh shit, I've never been there. And you just,
you just pop up?
Yeah, you just pop up. Yeah.
And do you have like a team that you do it, or you just literally just you and go set up in?
Yeah, it depends on the project, but most of the time you need a team. Yeah. Because you're using a lot of gear and like the efficiency, and you know, you might need people monitoring cameras or audio, or you know, you really do need a team like on the bigger scaled projects. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just duly taking a little mental note to be like, all right, I'm gonna do this one.
Dude, it's not gonna be too long when you're gonna have like a whole like crew, bro, like behind the scenes.
I might get someone with the boom mic just like kind of holding
straight up. Yeah, you get the sound guy. Yeah,
the sound guy. There you go. They're the ones that have like the little the thing right here, right, and the headphones.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. See, I know a little bit, dude.
I was surprised. I was like, you're talking about the camera. You're talking about like the lighting and everything. I was like, okay.
That's a lot of 2 a.m. curiosity and a
just YouTube videos. I recommended it. Yeah.
And this and next thing you know, it's
feel it.
When the fuck did the sun come out? Yeah, it's stuff like that, dude. You know what I mean?
I feel it. Yeah.
But it's dude. Shout out to YouTube for a lot of shit, man. It's not even just like I can't make this up today. I didn't know where the furnace was in my own house. I literally because I'm doing like some AC stuff. Yeah. And I remember I was like, oh, I know where the AC is at, you know? Yeah. Or I know what the filter's at, like on somewhere on the, on the roof and the ceiling. And I was calling this, I know we're going off topic, but I was calling this company to do like a little tune up, to take advantage of the summertime that is coming up. Yeah. And they're like, where's your furnace? And I was like, I was like, let me Google that. Like, how the fuck, And then I was like, they're like, have you replaced your filter for your furnace? And I was like, and I was like, yeah. Went on YouTube right away, and I was like, where the hell is this at? Yeah. So it's helping me out, not just for this type of stuff, but like even household stuff. So yeah,
dude, I was telling my mom the other day because she was like, I don't know what she was looking for, but I'm like the question that you just asked me, type that into Google. Oh, yeah, or YouTube. Yeah. And she's like, and you'll figure it out. You'll find it.
It'll even give you video, mom.
Straight up. In Spanish. In Spanish, yeah.
Yo, true. So okay. So yeah, you're right. You are right that the places that you will go, it's random. You have a whole team and everything. I'm curious too, how did that translate to, because I feel like the video thing, like the video portion of everything and you know, your whole production, I feel like you got that in the bag already. You know, like, I mean, obviously there's still room for growth and everything, but I feel like you got that in the bag. How did that lead into the podcast? The podcast that you have is the Full Circle Show. And how did that get to there?
So it was just the whole journey as a whole. You know, I guess just for lack of a better term, I'll just say journey. But yeah, I mean, the past 3-4 years of, you know, meeting someone or having the opportunity to do something that you never thought you would do, or, you know, would seem, you know, you didn't know was possible. And just having those full circle moments, you're like, oh shit, like, this is kind of crazy. Like, this is kind of nuts, you know, what I'm doing or, you know, things like that. And I realized I'm like, this isn't just happening to me. This happens to a lot of people who really dedicate their time to, you know, doing what they want to do or what they like to do and sticking with it. And over time, they have their own full circle moments. And that's where I got the inspiration for the name. And I had the idea for, I think, 6 months before I started it, or maybe even a year. But yeah, I didn't have like the whole setup. I just had 2 lapel mics and like the camera that I always carried with me. I'm like, and the homie I was hanging out with, I'm like, do you want to just record the podcast? And they're like, yeah, fuck it. Yeah. And that's how it started.
No, that is dope, man. It's like, it's kind of too like it's kind of like an outer body experience for a lot of stuff too. Like I'm thinking about what you said about the full circle, and it's like, you know, when you hear it at first, like me, like hearing that, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, like that makes sense. Yeah, like I've been there before. Like I know exactly what you mean. And that's what's cool about a lot of this stuff. You know, like even this is a full circle type of thing. You know,
straight up, like like we're gonna look back on this moment, and you know, when you have that studio, when you do have like the huge ass studio set with the lights and like 3 people behind the cameras. Yeah. I'm like, bro, remember when I fucking told you?
Speak it into existence, man. Like, you know?
Right? Because the action's there. Like, I mean, you're on your way there. Yeah. You know? It's just a matter of time.
And did you get, because I know how I felt going into this. I was a little bit worried, you know? When you built your platform and you started making your podcast, was there a bit hesitation?
No, at least with the podcast, no. There has been what people call like imposter syndrome with other stuff, more so like with the business stuff, because that's really like that's a lot out of my comfort zone in terms of what I'm used to. Right. But with the podcast, like I don't know, I just fucking went for it, bro. Like you know, I just like trying to get the reps in, and
it just came naturally to you.
Yeah, like I knew I was gonna like, I knew like I would play it back like the first couple episodes. I'm like, this fucking sucks. Like, or like this is like not going anywhere, like in terms of.
But that's because you're your toughest critic, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely think you know, everyone should be their toughest critic, right? Sure, but but yeah, I mean, you like. If I do something and I truly enjoy doing it, like I'm looking up YouTube tutorials, I'm practicing, I'm implementing things and making sure that, you know, I get it to where I want to get.
Yeah. That's okay, cool. Yeah. Cause that's like, I don't even know if I could say the same about my experience.
How did you feel?
It. I didn't think, which just sounds kind of off or like kind of the opposite way of thinking as you should. I'm thinking like, okay, I know I could talk for days, probably too much, you know, but how can I communicate to where you can get someone to stay consistently and actively listening to, you know, not just about what's your take on this, or they might listen into one episode, you know? So I think one of the challenges for me was more so like, who's really going to like, you know, who's really going to listen to me like that, right? Like how many people are actually going to listen at one? And then it was like, what I talked about it on like in another episode too. It was like, dude, I didn't have a lot of the stuff researching before I started was just like, what's your niche? You know, what is this? What is that? And I was a little like, I don't know if you know, if you're necessarily, because I historically I like to go against the grain with a lot of stuff, you know, and like literally everywhere was just like, to be successful, you have to have this and you have to have this and you have to have that, you know? And I was like, do you though? Like, do you really? You know, like, so that's kind of where I was like, yeah.
What were some of the things that
they were saying? Like, all right, to be successful, you have to have a base. Like, if you don't have a base or a foundation, like meaning like a community of like, or even like a following, then you're not going to be so successful. Another thing was like, you have to have a niche to talk about a specific topic. Like if you're going to talk about sports, stand out in the sports, but keep it consistent with sports and don't talk about anything else. And then another thing was just like, to be successful, they're like, start out with audio first and then slowly build it to video later. And not to say that they're 100% completely wrong, but I just feel like you can find your own lane and start from, you know, really any point and eventually get there. It's just a matter of how quickly. You might not get there in 2 months, you know, it might take a year and a half, but I just didn't like the you have to have this and you have to do this to be successful.
Yeah, it makes it feel very limiting, like, right? Yeah. And like all these parameters. But I think the biggest mind like shift that I had was like a few episodes in, once I started getting more people on and everything. And it was like, how can I provide value? Like what, like the people that are listening, what do they care about? And we were talking about this earlier, like before the podcast. I'm like, it just goes back to entertainment, inspiration, or information. Right. And like if you can nail one or more of those, like no matter what, like you're good. Yeah. You're good. Like because people are gonna find you, and they're gonna enjoy watching it, or they're gonna learn something new. You know, they're gonna get a laugh out of it, and you know they're gonna feel inspired or motivated. Like,
oh yeah, that's why I feel like even just getting a good balance of everything. You know, like you can find a way to, you know, keep it entertaining. You know, sometimes I have a good comedic tone, but at the same time too, I think just like, you know, being able to deliver something that maybe like teach something, maybe a listener that's like, you know, listening or watching, they could be like, oh, I didn't know that, and they learn something from it, you know, or then be like, oh, I didn't look at it that take at that angle, and they're kind of, you know, learning how to, you know, look at a person's point of view without straight up disagreeing.
Yeah,
you know, you don't have to shit on.
It's always been like the few seconds or that one sentence that someone says, you're like, damn. Yeah. You're like, fuck, like that makes sense. Like, yeah, that's, like it's like a fucking just it's like just trippy, bro. Yeah, straight up.
No, I know exactly what you mean, man. And yeah, that's kind of like the wormhole about podcasting, you know. But I like I like your pod. It's weird too because I don't know how it is for you, but it's like there's not, and it's not a diss to a lot of people out here that have them in SAC. Maybe I just don't know about a lot of them, but I don't know of a lot of podcasts that are here in SAC. You know, I don't know of a lot. I know of a few, but I don't know if there's like a lot. You know, so I feel like the lane is there.
I mean, it's you were like one of the first podcasts that I found out about in SAC, and I mean, I think as we involve ourselves more, you're like, oh shit, like boom, 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 like they'll just start popping, like you're like, oh fuck, like they've always been here, you know. But that's dope because like this shit happens, and and you know. You just meet up with dope people and you make that cool connection.
No, yeah, now that you say that, shit, if you guys want to work together, if you guys want to come on the podcast, if you're listening, hit me up, you know, or hit up the Full Circle Show. Uli, okay?
I got to have him on.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'll come on for sure, dude. Because it's like we were talking about, it's like, I've never been on one either, man. So like, on another one. So like you were saying.
It's
like,
weird. Yeah. It's a little bit strange. Like when I'm not. Like you're the one answering and I'm not asking questions.
You're not the one that's navigating the call. Well, you could do it. You could, if you want to go, you can go too.
No,
just go talk.
I'm chilling. Yeah, I'm chilling, bro.
But yeah, man. So it's like okay, so I want to talk about too. I know it's still kind of fairly new, so just talk, you know, as much as you feel comfortable with. But
for sure,
you also put out. You have like this digital freaking like a marketing agency or some type of production agency coming out.
Yeah, so that was the whole shift, right? Yeah. So it's called ODYSY. And yeah, that was just the whole shift of moving all the freelance work that I'm doing and you know that I'm doing in the future just under that umbrella and making sure that that's a business and you know Uli's not doing the work, you know, Odyssey's doing the work, and and so building that up.
What's the official Odyssey? But what is it like what's it like?
So ODYSY Media.
ODYSY Media. Okay.
Right now, I mean, the main focus would be media production, whether it be photo, video, animations, things like that. And then eventually, I want to incorporate like advertising, right? Because like we have the videos and we have the photos, you know, but if we don't distribute them right or put them in front of the right people, then it just doesn't make sense.
That's dope, man. And that's definitely a lot of tackle, man. So shouts out to you for that.
Appreciate it, brother.
A media freaking thing, man. What was that? I mean, like I said, you touched on it already, but there's got to be, you had to be thinking about that for like a while, right? This isn't something that was just like the other day, right?
Yeah, I think it was, man, I think it's in January. And like, I'm someone who just any like extra money that I have, I'll just invest back into what I'm doing.
Right.
And I just buy like a bunch of courses sometimes.
Yeah.
And like, people who are watching, like, you gotta be careful with the courses shit, because there's a lot of like
phony ones,
just phony ones, just like scammers, like straight up. And if you dig like deep enough, you know, you'll find it on YouTube or like blogs and forums and shit. But yeah, I mean, that's what I did. And yeah, this one course that I was taking that I actually, you know, get a lot out of is like just this whole business mindset. And you know, it's completely opposite of creating, and you know, that's what really inspired like, okay, the whole movement now.
Yeah, no, it was I feel you on that too, because I even get weird fucking like, hey, like DMs on the podcast page. I even get weird fucking ones that was like, I literally had one that was like the other day, I was like, hey there, looking to advertise with us, $100 and we'll pay for this thing for 6 months and this and this and that for 6 months. And it was like, no diss to these people. It was like someone like in Indonesia or something like that. They're like 6 months right here for this and that. I'm like, is this real? Like, you know, at first I'm like, is this? Yeah. And then I get like, all of a sudden, like I have like the podcast email, the Gmail, and I have that. And then all of a sudden it was like, learn this podcast masterclass, 12-week program, learn this type of thing, or join this podcast conference thinking. I'm like, gee, when the hell did all this come from? You know what I mean? Like,
quick tip, like you can usually tell when they're bullshitting or
like
or when it's like surface level like information that they're trying to fucking sell you. Is
tell me.
Usually the price ends with a 7.
Oh, mother truckers.
Dude, it's a whole fucking psychology thing. Like, these motherfuckers know how to sell.
They fucking got me. Well, not really. I didn't end up signing up for it, but at least I know, because I see a lot of 7s. Wait, so 7s is not the real ones, or it is the fake ones?
I mean, I'm not going to say it applies for everyone, but it's a common tactic that they use, right? They end the price with 7, and yeah, man, like these motherfuckers know how to sell, and it like, going back to what we said earlier, like it's just human behavior, and like they understand psychology, so they fuck with you, and people fall for it, man. People like literally like go into debt for this shit.
Oh, dude, yeah. That was there was another one that reached out, and that was like, take my podcast seminar, this three freaking course seminar thing, and it was like, learn how I took my downloads from like 100 to 50,000 over the course of 2 months, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie, dude. At first, it was like tempting, right? Yeah. I'm like, dude, 50,000. I like, let me. I'm like, you know, again, I'm curious. I'm like, how do we get that? You know what I mean? And then it's just kind of like, then it kind of, once you dive into it a little bit more, and maybe it is real, I don't know yet, but they were just like, you just have to come in with a minimal deposit of $1,000, and I was like, Jesus,
dude, it's. Yeah, man, it's like,
for a seminar, bro.
You see this ad on Facebook or on Instagram or even like on YouTube before a video starts. They're usually offering a free webinar, right? So like that free automatically triggers something. You go check out the free webinar. They actually tell you some shit that maybe you might have not known. Yeah. And you're like, fuck, okay. And then at the very end, after telling you some shit that, you know, you didn't know and it seems valuable, they're going to be like, okay, if you buy this, blah, 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 and then if you buy that thing, they're going to try to upsell you to something else, and then you just get into that fucking cycle, bro, and
that's what it gets you.
That's what it is. I mean, it's marketing, really. Yeah. It's marketing, advertising, and I mean, they don't use it for the, you know, the tactics for good. And
you're not going to do that, you know what I mean?
No. I mean, No. But I'm just playing. But yeah, that was a huge thing, is making sure that you're connecting people with shit, with services, with products that's really gonna help them out.
Yeah.
Right. That's the main thing.
That's the main
thing. Right.
And did you get like any, I'm not gonna say requests or anything like that, but you're pretty open with like working with people, right? And like kind of collaborating and stuff like that. Do you get at all like I feel like calling them weirdos would be like a little bit too much, but do you have like any people that just kind of feel like they're gonna like mooch off of you or something like that? Do you run into any of those issues?
What do you mean by mooch?
Mooch, like they're really trying to come up from you or come up off you, like take advantage of you and stuff like that.
No, not really. I mean, I think I'm pretty good at sniffing like bullshit like that out. And I think actions speak louder than the words. I mean, I've had someone try to, I'm trying to be a director, and like, what should I do? Like, I want to work with you and everything. And like, I'm like, that's cool. Like I was down for it, but I check out their page, and like, there's nothing on there. I'm like, show something that like, for not even for me, not even to convince me or anything like that. Like, do it for yourself.
Optics.
Yeah. And like, just make sure, like on your phone or, whatever it is, like show that you really are trying to become a director. Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy too, because I get that, I'm not gonna say I get it a lot, but I've had like a good amount of people actually like reach out to me too. And, they would just ask me, for advice with podcasting or, what setup I use for this, and, how do I shoot this, or what program am I using? You know? And dude, I always say the same thing. I just say like, it's good to reference other ones to kind of get a good base. And like I said, I even tell them too, look, I don't have this big ass podcast and big ass platform. I can only tell you on my experience, or some of the stuff that I might use, so I give them advice for that. But a lot of times too, man, I'd say maybe like 2 out of the 10 or 11 that's reached out to me, only those 2 have actually applied that and put it into motion, in action. And the other like 8 or however many, like there's still nothing coming out of it, so you can give all the information and you can have all that there, dude, but if you're not going to apply it to anything or actually take action, because at the end of the day, it's like you said, it's all about action, and it doesn't require a lot to do it,
Yeah. Sometimes we just fall in love with the idea of doing something, and once we actually get into like the practical day-to-day stuff, right? Yeah. And it's like, oh shit, okay, maybe I don't want to actually do this. Yeah.
Nah, dude, I get that too. But going on to, I want to know, what is like, I'm curious again, with the curiosity level of everything. What is your day-to-day routine? Like from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, what's your day-to-day routine?
All right, so this isn't as consistent as I would like it to be. Okay.
Let's picture it. And furthermore too, is there a difference between weekday and weekend?
Okay. So is there a difference? It depends. If I'm doing something with the family or something, then, or like if I want to sleep in a little bit, then maybe like it differs a little bit, right? But when like I'm really like at the top of my workflow, I'll wake up pretty early, like before 7. And what I started to do is I started reading a lot, a lot this past year. So I'll read so I have like maybe 6 to 8 books. Damn. And I'll just read like a chapter, like a section, and then just stack them back up. And then, and this is something that I want to incorporate new, is first thing would be just reaching out, like emailing or going on. There's this website called Upwork where it's like for they have freelance work and stuff like that.
I'm on there.
And just stuff like that, just trying to get customers, trying to get clients, trying to get gigs. And then other than that, it depends on either working on, video production or, the full circle show, and then every now and then taking breaks to like eat and just kind of chill out or read, and then the gym. And I mean, dude, I just really try to fill up my all my time with what I'm doing. Yeah.
With your craft. I'm not gonna call it work necessarily, but your craft. And you'll make no time for soccer.
Man, I haven't played soccer. Woo.
It's
Shit,
been a
I haven't
minute.
played soccer. Yeah, it's been a minute, man.
I just had to throw
I'll
that
get a
one in
fucking
there.
cramp or some shit.
Cramp. No, I just had to incorporate that one in, man. But I get that, devoting all that time into the craft, you know.
Yeah.
And like I said, is there a difference between weekday and weekend?
Most of the time, not really. I think, like I said, unless it's like that, like you're going on a trip or something like that, or like if I'm, I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly that type of stuff where usually I'm not getting enough sleep, or like you wake up and, or like, I mean, you go outside and it's like fucking 5 or something, or you stop working and it's like already sunrise. Okay, it's like, okay, that kind of fucks it up. It's usually when I'm not getting enough sleep that it fucks up like the next day or the next 2 days. Because it just might, like, I'm out of fucking balance.
It's definitely, I know exactly what you mean. With me, it's more so alcohol because I'll get like a hangover. But
that too, yeah. Dude, I was watching the other episode when you guys were, is this the same Henny bottle?
Which one? Because we did a lot of Henny.
Fuck, I don't remember what episode it was.
I forget.
I think it was the homegirl.
Oh, Sammy.
Yeah,
Sammy, I think so.
Yeah,
we took a lot of shots. We were drinking before. You know what's funny too? I talked about this on the podcast too, but I have like some of my family members, dude. Even my mom will be like, "Why are you drinking like on every other episode or every episode?" And I go, "Listen, it's not that I'm drinking every episode. Like like literally the people when I have them on, they'll be like, "Can we drink?" And they'll be like, "Do you want to drink beforehand?"
Because they get nervous.
Because they get nervous, you know. Or like I have had people on, they're just kind of like, they're like, "Oh, you know, like I don't know what to talk about," or like they want to get out of their comfort. I mean, they want to get into their comfort zone and break that ice.
For sure.
So for them, it's like they want to like take a shot here, you know. So I'll take it with them because I'm not gonna be rude, you know what I mean. And sometimes it's like maybe you drink a little bit before and then during, and then at the end you're just like, "Woo!" You know.
Should we take a shot?
I mean, now you want to? Oh, bro, I would have brought I ran out of Henny, though.
I'm not tripping.
I got Bullet Bourbon though.
I'm not tripping. Whatever is good.
You want to get Bullet Bourbon?
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the Bullet Bourbon, one of my personal faves. Now, Bullet Bourbon has two different, well, probably more, but that I know of, there's two. You have the Frontier whiskey, and you have the Rye.
Which
the
is
Rye,
this one?
This is the Frontier one.
Okay.
The Rye is the one with the green, and it's a little bit more expensive. It's really good though, but this is one of my personal faves. And we're doing it live on the podcast too, so shouts out to you.
Straight up.
But no, dude, I get that. Like a lot of people.
Do you usually take shots live?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we've done it plenty of times. Now, I did one with my homie Will, and that's the one where the bottle was like legit up here. And
did you guys get fucked up?
Yeah, and it was because it wasn't even planned. Like we were, I was gonna release it as a bonus episode because what happened was, I was gonna have this girl on, and it was for that day and everything, and maybe I'm not really get into detail what, but basically she had to reschedule, and I was like, oh yeah, no worries, and my homie Will came through, and I was already like all set up.
Yeah.
So he was like, let's like go out real quick, and we picked up a few things and had the Hennessy. So we're drinking a little bit and drinking a little bit more, and then I was like, hey dude, do you want to just like knock out an episode real quick? You know, like we don't have to like no agenda, no nothing. Let's just go. And he's like, yeah, for sure. So we sat down, drinking up more too, and then it was funny because I made like a little clip of like a count, like a ticker of how many times, and it was like 5 shots, and at the end it was just like it was like, all right, we're gonna close this one out, and I'm thinking, oh dude, that took forever. I looked down, it was 25 minutes. And it was like, Jesus, I thought that was
God damn, bro.
But cheers to you, man. Thank you
for having me on, brother.
Thank you. It's a little warm though.
It's all good.
But that one's tough.
That's good.
It's a little tough. But
I'm usually good with like with hard liquor.
Yeah.
In terms of taking the shot.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. Now this is a good one, and like I prefer it to be cold, you know, a little chilly.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm gonna take what I can get. So I do have that one, and as you can see, the bar sign is right there. But nah, man. So what else though? Like I want to like kind of give the people, you know, like have the people on is like I really try to make it an emphasis, and fuck, I'm already messed up, and I try to make it a thing to like kind of explain or give like a good intro, you know what I mean? And we talked about how, you know, you got into this, what exactly you do, your directing, your freelance, your fucking production company or media company and everything, and how much you'd be, you know, willing to work with a lot of people. And we talked about the podcast too, you know. So other than all that, man, what exactly or what else can you like let the people know about, like, hey, if they want to reach out to you with this, you know, or how they can collaborate or network with you, you know, like
For sure.
how that would work.
Yeah, I mean, they can always hit me up on Instagram, Ulises.media, ULISES.media. And then whether it's podcasts or whether it's for video production, like I said, those are the two things that really fill up my time, because those are the two things that I've felt are the ones that really stand out for me and that I just want to pursue wholly. So, I mean, that's what it is, man. Like, it's just a simple DM, just a simple DM. That's it. And I'm pretty cool with most people. Yeah.
And don't hesitate to reach out, people, man. Cause it's one of those things too, dude. Like I had like this thing in my mind that I was gonna, and I did do it. I did make a post, but I wanted to make it a thing. I was like, hey, like, you know, like I want to have more people on. I made a post and I was like, yo, if you guys know anybody, who you would like to see on or you reach out, you know. And I got a lot of good responses, man. And I actually have like literally the next 4 weeks and 4 episodes booked out because of stuff like that, you know. And there was some of it was literally just that, was reaching out, you know, on the DM or email, or even that, you know. So
yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude, because like you'll be surprised, like a small little effort like that, what it does, you know, it does wonders. And I would say too, I've reached out to, dude, like I've reached out to a lot of people, man, a lot of people, and I've been left on red, ghosted. Some of them will reply, some maybe not, man. But out of all those, that's okay. It's literally like, don't, like, for the people that would say, who are, you know, hesitant for doing stuff like that. Even sponsors do, like, for the, like, as you know, like once your show gets big, dude, a lot of it is predicated on sponsorship and ads, you know. And luckily I was able to work with another podcast before, and I was able to get them, you know, booked as an ad spot one time. But man, I would say I like a good story of background, and I'm curious to see if you've ever done this with your platform and your podcast. Dude, I've legit like sent daily proposal. Like, I'm talking about, I've sat on my lunch. I've sat till I put my son, like he's asleep to like 10:30. I put him to sleep. Yeah. It's time to go to bed. I got to be up like at 5 a.m. the next day, but I stay up to like midnight and I'll like send proposals. And I'll reach out to, like, I'm talking about like literally like 20 sometimes, maybe 15 15 to 20 in a night. And I'll just send, like, you know, proposals to get like ad slots for like pre-rolls and mid-rolls, and nothing. So it's like, at first it's a little bit like disheartening. Yeah. But I understand that, you know, it's a market-based your market-based value. You know, your value is your market. And
it's what it is, man. It's
what it is. So,
I mean, I'm curious. I do a similar thing in terms of trying to get clients and trying to make sure, like, trying to find the ones that I could help out and the right fit, right? You don't want to come off as that person that seems annoying, but I mean, when you look at it, when you look at it as like, okay, how can I help you? Yeah. Then it's like, okay, like, they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting your proposition, right? And I mean, you just fucking go for it, man. Like, I don't know, like, after a while, you're just like, it just doesn't faze you.
Yeah, I mean, it's more so your services. Like, I feel like, you know, obviously I would say what you have to offer is a little bit more than what I bring to the table. So I feel like it's actually a loss for them not to hit you up. You know what I mean? So you guys lost out.
I feel like that. Yeah. Sometimes I do feel like that.
Like, do not, for real. You're like, whoa, bro, I was trying to help you out. You know? Yeah. So I get that. But even with this platform too, is like, I'll have, I mean, I've had like, I've had like 12-year-olds on YouTube reach out and be like, hey man, I'm dropping music, you mind if I come on there? I'm like, I don't even know if I can, bro. Like, legally, you're 12 years old, you know? Like, I don't even know. Yeah. Are you a real person? You know, like, I've had a person hit me up and it was just like, and I almost did it, dude. I almost did it. You tell me if you would have did it as a podcast, okay? I had someone remote, like, want to, like, literally from Somalia, I think. reached out to me and was like, hey, I do stand-up comedy, and I'm gonna be in this area, I'm gonna be doing that, like, and I got like these tour, like this kind of a, not even a tour date, but I'm gonna be in the area. He just didn't say where. I never said where I was from.
Yeah.
He just said I'm gonna be in the area. He was like, you know, we could do a remote podcast. I'm like, I was like, let me look this up, dude. Let me look this dude up. And look it, I don't have the biggest following. Listen, I'm not even verified on fucking Instagram, right? I get that. But this guy said he was a stand-up comic who's gonna be in the area doing these tours and everything, right? He didn't even, bro, he had 2 posts on Instagram, 8 followers, and no website or no, like, nothing.
Okay,
that's like a little, I'm like, oh, I can't book you, my guy. Like,
yeah.
I don't even know, like, are you even a real person?
Yeah.
I don't know. And it sounds messed up to say, but it's like, dude, like, if I'm going to bring you on, like, especially if you say you're a stand-up comic, but there's like not really much to show.
Dude,
for,
I mean, and that's not even your fault. I think that's just the way that they put themselves out on social media.
Yeah.
Like, or
maybe
like,
he's huge in Africa. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Or at least, you know, maybe I would have gone like, okay, like, let's FaceTime first, like, before we, you know, we do anything, right? Or like, send me some links to your work so I can like see that you're legit and not gonna like murder me or some shit.
Yeah, and that is true, because you that's what I learned. Like, dude, I even booked like a few artists and everything, and I was even talking with an artist's manager and agency, and it was like going back and forth in emails, and I was like, oh shit, like, why don't I? That's why I ended up getting this thing called Calendly. Have you Calendly?
Clutch.
Do you have that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I have that too, and I knew, I was like, oh shit, this looks more professional. This is more that. So like, I ended up downloading it because of that. You know what I mean? So like, that's like, it's those. It's
a game changer, bro. Yeah, I mean, you
just
send them a link, you're like, oh wow, like,
and they book it.
This is all super organized. Like, you really do good stuff. Like,
and I have that. Yeah. Which now that I think about it, and this is where I'm hypocritical, and you can call me out on it. I didn't send him that link.
That shit was just on the fly.
It was just like on the message, you know. So sometimes, you know, you can get away with that. But, I would say Calendly or something like that.
Calendly, bro, is fucking clutch. I do the same shit for I just put it on the website, on the video production website too. Like, it's great.
Did you build your own one?
I'm Squarespace.
Me too.
For now.
No, that's fine too.
Until I can get someone to like legit do it.
Dude, I built up my everything on Squarespace. Because you know how it is, you know, like you have the template, but I did like everything. And it's optimized for mobile and everything. I don't want to say too much because they don't sponsor the show. But you know what I mean? Like,
not yet.
But nah, dude, that's what I use for mine too. And it's like, but you'll be surprised. Like, at first, it's like you're thinking like, how many people are actually gonna like really visit? But it is clutch in, it gets in the algorithms, in that if you on any search engine, it's gonna pop up.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I do have that, and I do have that as another avenue, you know?
Yeah.
Which I was talking about too, is like, I didn't, not that I realized or anything like that, but the social media, right, is like big.
Yeah.
Social media presence is like
huge.
Especially like in 2021, it's big for like a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm even expanding all that with the podcast. And it's tough because like it's tough to manage all of it in one, you know what I mean? Especially when you're starting off. But
doing
I understand,
everything,
that's all a part of the grind, you know?
That's what it is, man. And you know, like I said, when you have that huge ass studio set and the huge lights and, you know, like 4 or 5 employees working for you, it's like, okay, like I can just focus on strategy and, you know, the content itself, and, you know, really just like just navigating the conversation how I want to, right? Instead of like thinking about all this extra stuff.
Yes, exactly. Man.
Yeah, man.
But so what do you see? Okay, so with all this media stuff you got going on, man, and like literally creating your own, essentially like a production or agency, you know, and still running your podcast, do you see yourself like ever, you know, getting yourself, what do they call it? Excuse me, it's like slipping through my mind right now, but eventually like trademarking something and then creating like maybe like an LLC?
Yeah, so in terms of the video production stuff, that's definitely like #1 priority, getting that shit straight. And then with the podcast, same thing as well. Because I made the decision to, or at least with the podcast, to release 100 episodes. So yeah, I mean that's huge, right? Because once that starts generating money and you know, income starting coming in, and if I need to get employees or whatever the case is at that point, like, you know, it's the annoying stuff, but I think it's just annoying because you know, you just got to take the time to learn it.
Yeah, it's the logistics and the legality of everything.
Yeah, that's just what it is, and you know, but yeah, that's definitely the plans.
It's definitely a thing where that's like, you know, you'll be able to look and I'm not gonna say sound, but it's just a different, more professional look, I guess you would say, for a lot of this stuff. So and that's just, like I said, again, my only curiosity from it, because I'm juggling that right now, like on my own thing, and it's like, how am I gonna, because the end game for all this is to be able to monetize, and you're only as professional as you look. Like, I want to make this like a legit thing. It's not so much of like as a side hustle, like or a hobby. Like, I want this thing to be as successful as I can make it. So I was just curious with that one too, because I don't know what your process was like, in the decision making for a lot of this stuff. So
I think it's just, if you see yourself doing it long term and regardless, because seeing you do your thing and the way that you talk about you improving your podcast, like, I think you definitely should, because it's just a matter of when. Yeah. When you are able to monetize, like, with extreme, numbers and things like that. So, just getting that out of the way, and once that time comes, like, you're just like, you're good on the back end type of stuff with like legal stuff.
Well, thank you, man. Yeah. I try. Yeah. And like I said, I definitely do that. I want to come on yours, dude, because I never been.
We gotta make it happen, bro. I'll send you the link.
Yeah,
I'll send you the Calendly link.
I want to come on, man. Yeah. But I just like I said, I really do just enjoy listening to the podcast, man, because it's we have, like I said, I have a lot that I listen to, man. I can get the comedic comedy ones out the way. I can get like the more in-depth conversations. I do listen to Joe Rogan too, not every day, but like, I listen to that one too, and I listen to like
there's so much, bro.
There's just so many categories, but what I like about yours is that you're legit having an in-depth conversation, and ultimately this is what this is. Like, it's just a broadcaster conversation, Yeah. So that's what I like about the dynamic in yours. And I'm just a fan of your work, dude.
Thank you, brother.
I'm just a fan of like go-getters and individuals who like don't really say much and just act on everything. Like, they take action of all that stuff, man. So fan of you with that. Fan of you coming on. We're already an hour in. Really? And I want to take another shot, and I usually keep these at around an hour mark.
For sure.
How long do you normally
if it gets to like an hour 30, I'll split into like part 2.
Oh, okay.
Part 1 and part 2.
Shit, maybe I should do that one then. But it's just because the only reason why I keep mine, because I don't have like unlimited minutes per month, because I use like a website that like
what hosting site do you use?
Buzzsprouts.
Buzzsprout, how is it?
Really good.
Yeah.
What do you have?
I was using Red Circle.
Okay.
For a little bit. I don't know why it switched. I think it was just because of the advertising thing, but I don't even advertise.
Yeah.
So I switched to Anchor.
Anchor, yeah. That's the one I was debating whether or not to go on Anchor on Buzzsprouts. And I'll tell you off air, like a little more like all this stuff. But I try to keep these right like at an hour mark, but it's like I said, I'll tell you more stuff off air. But before we close this up, man, and wrap this up, I'm gonna pour us a shot, another one real quick, if you don't mind.
Let's do it.
And at the end of each episode, I have this segment on that I call Quick Hitters. You might be familiar with it. You know what I mean? I found that this only happened once, I think, where we took a shot right before we did the quick hitters, and it just made them more loose. More loose, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
let's make it happen.
Also, it's kind of hard to do a freaking pre-quick hitters shot like via Zoom. You know what I mean?
On, so you're like, hey, go grab a bottle or some shit real quick. Yeah.
They're like, all I got is water, bro. You're like, fuck it,
I feel it.
So let's do this one up.
All right.
Cheers, man. Thank you. Okay. Right. So, for these quick hitters questions, right? So I'm asking you a series of 10 questions.
Okay.
Some of them are pretty generic or general.
For sure.
And some of them are specifically catered towards the guests that I have on.
All right.
Okay. First one. clear or brown liquor?
Brown.
Photography or videography?
Videography. Easy.
Oh, shit. Okay. Favorite soccer team? Come on now.
Barcelona.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Did I pass?
I thought
In your book, did I pass?
Yes. I thought you were gonna say something like Cruz Azul or something like that. Like nah,
America or Chivas or something.
Chivas, yeah. Okay. Would you rather have 4 arms or 4 legs?
Fuck. 4 arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 arms. I get it.
4 arms. Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather burn to death or freeze to death?
Fuck.
It's pretty dark.
Yeah. It's pretty fucked up.
If you had a preference.
Man. I told you I don't fuck with the cold, so I'm gonna have to burn to
Go
death.
heat?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm like the opposite. I was just like, I don't want to sit there and just feel it. Just freeze me, guy.
Well, can you like run around and shit while you're like
Probably,
burning or
man.
something? You know.
If I was on fire, I would stop, drop, and roll.
But yeah.
But I'm gonna die.
But I'm gonna die.
Yeah. Sorry. What's your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure. Fuck. The fuck do I do? Man, I just fucking I don't know, dude. What? Give me some examples of like other people's guilty pleasures.
I say like my guilt. Unfortunately, my guilty pleasure. Fuck, man, it's so bad. But putting hot Cheetos on top of pizza, it's so bad for me. It's
jalapeno chips.
It's so bad for me. But fuck, you ever had hot Cheetos on a pizza?
Man, probably like once. I was probably just baked as fuck.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
It's the worst, but the best at the same time. Yeah.
Jalapeno chips for me probably.
Jalapeno
Yeah.
chips. Okay. Wait, no, that was for you. Okay. What's the one thing that annoys you the most?
Fuck, man. I think people that are just all talk and no action.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I feel that. Okay. Wait, no, this is I want to know if you're a real one with this one,
sure.
okay? Super Smash Bros or 007 GoldenEye?
Super Smash Bros.
Okay. Okay.
How's that?
All right,
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
Come on,
you know what I mean? Okay. What advice would you give your 21-year-old self?
So what advice would I give myself a year ago?
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I would probably say be a little bit more selfish.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that one. I would tell myself that too. Selfishly, I would say that. Okay. Last one, man. If you could name a drink after yourself, what would it be?
I'm gonna go with my gamer tag that I use like on everything.
What is it?
You saucy.
Oh,
You saucy. There was this girl in my Spanish class. Shout out Casey. She fucked up my name. And she said, "Oh, is your name like you saucy?" I'm like, "You're like fucking way off." But I mean, at least it was like it's not that bad. You know, I could use it for like my Xbox gamer tag or some shit, right?
it's just so off. Like,
Yeah, it really is off. Yeah, she really did. Like, I don't know what the fuck she was thinking.
Well,
but
I would say this, dude. If I was at Bevmo or like Total Wine and I saw you saucy there, I'd buy the fucking bottle like instantly.
Yeah. It wouldn't be like a classy branding. It would be a little bit more like branded towards, marketed towards like the younger
demographic,
right? But it'd be dope. It'd be dope for sure.
Nah, you're good, man. You're good. Yeah, that was quick hitters.
That was good. I enjoyed
Uli.
those. I enjoyed those. Yeah.
But yeah, man. So again, just tell everybody, where they can find you and what you got going on and how they could reach out to those things that you got going on.
For sure. You can check out the podcast that we've been talking about, Full Circle Show, on all platforms, Full Circle Show on Instagram. You can check out the video production company, ODYSY Media on everything. And then if you want to DM me directly, Ulises.media, ULISES.media.
Yes. Thank you, man. Thank
Appreciate
you again for
brother.
coming on.
Yeah, of course.
As always, everybody, y'all stay safe. This has been another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. I am Albert Fig right here with Uli. Y'all stay safe. Peace.
Peace, guys.